So how did I get to the point where throwing this up in the air felt like it would be a good idea? Well, I really like juggling weird objects, and as a fun bonus, and this is a secret, I can look like I know how to do all these crazy things, but I don't actually have to learn anything. I mean, look at this. This is cool, right? But also it's super difficult and it takes a long time to get good at it. But when I juggle random stuff, it's all the same basic motions. Now I'm just juggling like a tomato or something. It's not like it's never challenging. I got a request a while ago on TikTok to juggle shoeboxes, and that was incredibly difficult. But anyway, I'm getting off track again. I like doing dumb props, so naturally, bowling balls was the next logical step. I say that like there was some kind of thought involved, but actually this stuff just kind of kept finding me. I happened to be at a bowling alley once the day they were trying to get rid of some old pins. And this guy just happened to be $5 at a thrift store a day that I went in. The only problem with the thrift store find though is that I have no control over how heavy this thing is because I just found it. And it happened to be 15 pounds, which was a bit much. I mean, I did still juggle it, I just didn't, it wasn't very fun. And then my arms were like all noodly after the fact. Unfortunately though, used bowling balls are kind of pricey for some reason, so if I wanted to find a lighter one, it would be a bit of an investment. So I kind of just threw this on the back burner until a solution just sort of fell into my lap. Whew. That was terrifying. I was juggling over my lunch break at work at one point, you know, as you do in an office. And I was talking about the bowling ball thing, and it turns out I have a coworker who just happened to have 2 extra bowling balls that he was trying to get rid of, and they're kids' balls, as you can tell by the, like, Scooby-Doo and the Tweety bird somewhere, there we go. So they're only like 7 pounds, which is super doable. I think a lot of people that do juggle bowling balls actually just use fake balls, but that feels like cheating, and I don't want to lie to the people. That's part of why I don't do too much magic, actually. I don't want to hide anything. I'm doing neat things. You should see the neat things. Anyway, I brought these to one of the juggling clubs that I go to mess around with a little bit, and a friend of mine showed me this photo of some guy juggling 5 bowling balls, which is just absurd. How do you even get started with that many? Like, you can't hold multiple in the like, I don't know. But then he goes and tells me that this guy died doing this when a bowling ball ricocheted and hit him in the head. So yeah, I'm not gonna stop or anything, but like, you know.
Hello, Editing Nick here. I looked into this a little bit, and it turns out that this guy didn't actually die. According to the International Jugglers Association, because of course that's a thing, he was actually just horribly injured and was never the same after the accident. So I guess that's better? Anyway, back to the actual video.
So yeah, I did take these out and juggle them, and there's something about the novelty of it that's just so fun or exciting, or maybe even both, I don't know. Not sure where I was going with that. I did have plenty of screw-ups though when I was first trying it out, including one of the wonky ricochet things. But it's really not too hard to dodge a bowling ball, especially when you're only using 2 and it's not that hectic. I still can't imagine doing 5 though. I could barely get started with just the 2. I had to waddle around with the bowling pin between my legs like some sort of daddy penguin carrying an egg. Male penguins care for the eggs, right? That's a thing? I feel like that's a thing. Whatever, the point here is that I wasn't even using 3 balls and I still could barely get started with the things. Also, side note, the pin, not just thematic, it's super helpful to have an object that is at least a sort of similar weight to the bowling balls. I don't think people realize most of the time how heavy bowling pins actually are, and when you're flipping it, it makes it feel even heavier. But yeah, the similar weight thing helps prevent the 1, 2, 3 thing that happens where you accidentally just chuck something because it's so much lighter and you're not expecting it. Not that I never do mismatch weights. I mean, I did this watermelon a little while ago, and that was actually even heavier than the bowling balls, and I was using regular balls with that, but that was mostly like a safety concern because I wanted to be able to completely focus on this watermelon not going all over the place. I didn't care where those went. But yeah, it's mostly just disorienting to have a whole bunch of different weights for stuff. So yeah, I think that's my thing with bowling balls, is it's actually pretty fun as long as you get a ball that's not too terribly heavy and you can actually throw it around without struggling too much. But would I recommend juggling bowling balls? No, probably not. Unless you're trying to get like super buff. There we go. No, but could you imagine that conversation? Oh, hey man, how you been? You look good. You been working out? Yeah, yep. That's what I sure have been doing that. Yep.